It looks like Doom may finally be getting an official Slayer vs Slayer mode, some co-op content, a Horde mode, and a full level builder, which is exactly what the community has been asking for. This probably won't be a part of any sort of 30th anniversary celebration, so I doubt we'll be seeing these modes in the near future, but it's still good to know that they're all likely in the works. Coincidentally, last week's video was about how the next Doom game will probably have all of these modes. I'll leave a link in the description and on the end card since it pairs so well with this. Unfortunately, there is a bit of a catch of this news that I'd imagine a good handful of people won't be too happy with. This content won't be coming to Doom Eternal, it's probably coming to Mighty Doom. I personally think that Mighty Doom is pretty decent and it's always good to see them release some solid content, but I can definitely understand why a lot of people wouldn't be too happy that a mobile game is getting highly requested features instead of Eternal. Still, we don't exactly know which game modes we'll be getting or when they'll be releasing. It would be best to save any judgment until the content actually drops. So, how do we even know they have plans to add all of this content? Last week they sent out a survey to all players' mailboxes that could be completed in exchange for 250 crystals, which they claimed would be delivered in 5 to 6 business days. They apparently hit max capacity fairly quickly and shut everything down shortly after launching it, but those that got a chance to partake in the survey were asked some general questions about what type of social media they used and what types of games they liked, along with some questions about Mighty Doom and what type of content they wanted to see going forward. There wasn't anything worthwhile in the general questions, since it was just stuff like, how much do you enjoy being a part of a team or a community, and how much do you enjoy chatting with other players, but things started to get really interesting towards the end. One of the final parts of the Mighty Doom section asked, which game modes would you be most interested in playing, and the answers were a co-op mode, a speedrun mode, a level creator, an infinite horde mode, and a Slayer vs Slayer mode. The fact that they're even asking these questions confirms that all of this content is in the cards and they're just trying to get a good idea of what players want so they don't waste time and money on pointless updates. I obviously can't speak for the casual players that don't interact with the community, but the majority of the people that are more involved with the game tend to agree that it really needs more bonus content, with suggestions like a level builder and multiplayer being thrown around pretty frequently. Because so many people in the community seem to want these things, and I doubt anyone in the casual audience would say that they don't want more free content, I figure that most, if not all of the options on this survey are probably coming at some point in the future. Some of the chapters and event levels already use a horde mode format, so that one is pretty much guaranteed because all they would have to do is reuse the same mode and make a few adjustments to balance things out. The short speedrunning level is also probably guaranteed to appear as an event level at the very least, since that doesn't seem to be a very demanding mode and I'm sure they wouldn't get very many complaints. The rest of them could go either way, but I do feel like it's incredibly likely that all of them get added since I can't imagine the votes being anything other than an overwhelming yes. There are two other smaller bits of news that I wanted to briefly cover in today's video, the first of which is an update on a previous story. Not too long ago, we talked about how the Slayers Club was getting a reboot, with the points and reward system being removed, the entire site getting a redesign, and new community events and giveaways being introduced. Right after I made a video discussing the possibility of more Slayers Club content next month to celebrate the franchise's 30th anniversary, they gave the site more visual updates and added a merch store tab, which takes you directly to the Doom section of the Bethesda gear store. They haven't even touched the club since the initial changes back in July, so I wanted to mention that they've randomly started improving the site less than a month before the anniversary. My previous theory might have been correct. Some of you may remember that a 1/6 scale premium Doomslayer figure was announced around the time of Eternal's launch, but nothing ever came of it and most assumed it was cancelled. Well, now, almost 4 years later, they have finally revealed the figure and all of its accessories along with a Mondo-exclusive Crimson variant. This figure will set you back $295 if you're looking to add it to your collection. The Crimson Slayer is limited to only 666 figures, so you're gonna want to pre-order this while you still can. I'll be leaving a link to both in the description. While all of this is really great news, I just hope that we start hearing more about their next game at some point in the near future. Just like Mighty Doom, co-op and Slayer vs Slayer will likely be featured in whatever title they release next. You can click on the video that's on screen now to find out more. Thank you all so much for watching today's video, I hope you enjoyed it. That's pretty much all that I have for now though. Until next time.